Welcome back to another episode of Forbidden Depths. I'm your host, Queen Frostbitten, and we're here today to get down, dirty, and sultry by staying open, educated, consensual, and safe. If you're returning, welcome back to another episode. Thanks for supporting the channel and its growth. If, of course, you're new here, make sure you follow, like, and subscribe, because one taste will never be enough. Awesome. So I want to say thank you first for being so amazing and showing up on the podcast Forbidden Depths today, Miss Humblebee. If you could please just introduce yourself to all the viewers.
Hi, I'm your favorite backwoods Barbie. I'm Humblebee. You can check me out in Lexington, Kentucky, or any city near that. I hope to see you all soon.
Yes, awesome. And you guys can also find Humble on TikTok and Instagram. I'll leave in the bio the information where you can find them. Now, Humble, I want to talk about how you got your start. How did you find Humble?
Humble was found through pain and anguish and a little bit of hope. I had just bought a house with my ex-fiance, and I just closed on it, and I was so excited for a new chapter in my life. And then there was an abrupt change to those plans. And I think that when you get real low in life, you have to find something to grab onto. And I think Humble was found through that. I think Humble was like my hope, something to look forward to, something to excite me. It was small at the time. She was an idea,
Mhm.
she wasn't a concept that was fully
Right.
realized. But Humble saved my life in a lot of ways. And I hate to be that person. It's like I wouldn't still be here without, but I really wouldn't. Like
Right.
I went through those very serious thoughts. And I don't know. I just felt like through my pain there was joy, and I could share
Mhm.
that with others and share a story. So
Yes, 100%. So your pain kind of turned to something positive. You kind of changed that negative energy, made it something positive, and your resilience shined through. Like I've never seen you more glowing in my life.
thank you. It's an LED light.
Yeah.
So
So, Humble is actually a native. We are from the same area, which is really, really cool that I have the honor of featuring Humble tonight. So, Um, Humble, overall, whenever you kind of got into drag, was it something that you did locally, or did you like kind of travel at first and then bring it back home with you?
okay. So drag was not local in our hometown. As you know, a lot of uh, closed-mindedness
Oh,
surrounds
yes.
conservation, and so it wasn't something that was available to me locally. So I had a friend who I met in college who started drag around the time that I thought about it.
Hmm.
And so when they learned things from drag queens, because they had a little more, um,
Access.
yes, thank you. That's going to happen a lot in this podcast. Uh, they had a lot more access to queens and just learning so many different nips and tricks and all that. So they kind of would just pass that on to me. So they kind of adopted me as a drag child, though they were a drag child themselves.
Right.
They will even tell you now I was their unwanted pregnancy, which is like, okay, cool. So my drag mom, Natalia Horowitz, that's not her name anymore. Natalia Jolie, I love you so much, and thank you for everything you've done. Um, but so I had to go to like Lexington a lot,
Hmm.
and it wasn't until Little Sparrow Productions actually got some shows going in like Somerset and Corbin and just small towns near us that I actually got to perform in my hometowns and share that love, and I had so much support from our community, which was, like,
Hmm.
crazy because, I mean,
Yes,
they were the same
yes.
people who told me I shouldn't do it, so I'm like, "Okay, pick a
Mm,
side," but,
yeah.
um, yeah, it was definitely something I had to travel for, and I still do travel more than I get to actually do it at home, like,
Right.
there's not enough community here for it, so it's almost
Hmm.
like you gotta space it out, like, once
Right.
every couple months.
Yes, 100%. And I feel like over time, slowly, we are getting that progress, but it just seems like we see the vision and we see what could be, and we're just like, motherfucker, just go, just already be there. Like, I'm too impatient to wait. Just be there. We're ready for this blossoming, you know?
I I definitely agree, but at the same time, I have a different perspective on that. I guess it's so it is, like, it's agonizing how long we have to
Hmm.
wait, but I don't know, I mean, I get to live during the change too,
Yeah.
so I get to watch that transition, and it's actually very beautiful, so
Yes, I would agree for the most part. I just get very impatient, I guess. It's one of those things where I feel like it's basic human rights almost. I feel like you should just love people. Like
I
just
mean,
love people.
absolutely. I mean, absolutely, I'd be a fool not to agree. I mean, unfortunately, life hasn't dealt us those cards,
Yeah.
and so I think it's just really important to grasp any ounce of positivity you can and just to
Yes.
ride with it, and I think that's what I've been doing is just, like
Hmm.
and it really that's why I guess you just it's so sentimental, these
Right.
moments where we get to see, like, Drag Race getting huge and so much gay representation, marriage equality, and all that,
Hmm.
like, just coming to the surface, and I just love it. I love that it's so, like, prominent on media as well.
Yes, 100%. I do love how, as a whole, the majority of people are becoming more accepting. So that's really awesome to see. So my that leads me to my next question. With you getting into and developing your stage persona, how did you decide who you were going to be? Like, how did you come up with Humble?
Humble is, quickly compared to Trixie Mattel, and I'm not gonna say that that's not fair because I look a lot like her, I really do. But I wouldn't say she was my only, reference that I, like, pulled from.
Hmm.
There's aspects of my grandmother in my drag.
Hmm.
She was, like, my best friend. That's why I like all the old-timey country, like,
Hmm.
clothes, like, I really enjoy those. There's aspects of my favorite types of music, which is, like, 60s doo-wop and, um, I mean, if you're gonna go with today's hits, I guess Meghan Trainor because she's the closest
Oh
thing to
yeah. Oh yeah.
60s doo-wop.
You do remind me of Dolly Parton too.
I was
I'm
gonna
just
get there.
I'm just gonna tell you every
Dolly
time.
Parton I love that. I love when people associate me with Dolly Parton the moment they see me.
Hmm.
I think if it was the other way around and people associated Dolly Parton like, me with Dolly Parton and told her that she looked like me, I think it'd be very offensive, but, like, on my end of the spectrum, it's, extremely flattering, and I really appreciate, that because she is a huge, role model in my life as well. There's a lot of, like, bonding moments I have with, like, my mother through, like, Dolly Parton films and everything like that, so I hold her close to my heart as well.
Yes, 100%. And that's a beautiful thing. Like, not only is Dolly Parton like gorgeous, but she's like this just powerful, extremely loving and open woman. Like just overall, she is a force. And I feel like for more people to kind of take that torch and carry it with them is a beautiful thing. So I really enjoy that that's part of your development.
Well, thank you. I'm a country girl through and through, so what can I say? I might as well just keep it in the roots, you know?
Right. So whenever, of course, you started drag, I know that there's things that you would have to do, like strengths that you would have to have in order to be successful. So, what are those things, the qualities that you feel have made you thrive?
Well, as soon as I find them out, I will let you know. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm super successful. I would say that people know who I am, and I think that that's a good thing.
Yes.
Like, so I guess the I don't know that's a tough question because I wouldn't compare. It's hard to compare success.
Well, you don't
Um,
compare yourself to someone else, period. Success for you is, how do you feel confident in your role right now? Like, you as an individual, how has it brought light to your life, and what qualities have you used to do that? And let me tell you, you have a lot of good qualities. I don't care what you say.
no, I didn't come on here to be too self-deprecating. Comedy. I think comedy is
Mm,
my big thing, and it's not even like going up and telling a joke, like also
right.
doing airline food, but I don't know. It's bringing humor to anything,
Mhm.
and knowing that okay, I'm going through this right now, you're going through that right now, but together we can laugh at this one thing. And
Yeah.
comedy has really struck. Like I'll go to shows and there'll be people that stop me and they'll be like, I've never seen you before, but you are honestly my favorite drag queen. And it's just because you're unexpected and you make me laugh. And I really appreciate you. Or I think one woman cried because I did Beauty and the Beast, like the Mrs. Potts song one time. And she was
Mhm.
just like, Angela Lansbury really got me through like a good time. And like, I don't know, that kind of sentiment is what I
Yeah.
feed off of. And
Right.
I'm just like, I just want to be relatable. I don't want to
Yes.
be standoffish. I want people to be,
Mhm.
I want to be approachable. And
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what's got me going is just being able to relate to the audience and
Mhm.
um, give them a piece of like personable interaction.
Yes, I completely agree, because not only can you relate to them to kind of help them filter a situation, but that leaves a huge impression for, future stuff. Anything you were to build on, and kind of, even if you decide to travel more later, maybe you'll go on tour, but having people being able to relate to you and open up to you means that you're able to affect people. And I'm going to tell you, not everybody can do that.
That is true. That is extremely true. And I've learned that. I used to be like that person who believes in everybody. And unfortunately, if you don't have it, you just don't have it.
Yes.
And I wish everyone did, but that's again not the world we live in. So
Right. Not everyone was born to be an entertainer, and that's okay. That's okay. It's not a race, it's not a comparison. It is embracing yourself, loving yourself, finding yourself. So I'm super glad that you found Humble, because I'm going to tell you, it's been very motivating watching your growth online over the years.
that was 2018 was not good to me, and you all lied to me several times and told me that I was
I
hot,
know.
sexy, fly, and
I
beautiful.
never lied to you. I 100% told you how amazing you were, how gorgeous you looked, and it was all true. But you are your own worst critic. And whenever you look back, oh my goodness, let me tell you, I do the same thing, because I will look back from the time that I started doing Dom work and I'm like, what was I thinking? People actually watch this?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I always loved seeing how like individual you were. I mean, even when we were in the same space a lot, there was times, I mean, people are so rude.
Oh, yeah.
People would say things about you, people would say things about me, but I don't know. I just was drawn to you from the moment I met you. I was like, I don't care what any of y'all say. This girl's
Yeah.
got something going on. And
Well,
so
we're
I love
polarizing individuals, if you haven't
it.
noticed.
Oh,
People either really like us or they really don't like us. There's like no in between, and that's okay. We're not for
and they'll never
everybody.
hate me. They will never hate me as much as I hate myself.
Stop.
And that's a contest, baby. That's a race. So
Oh my goodness. Oh, I am so glad that you have retained all of this amazingness over the years, by the way, because it's been a
Oh,
while
thank
since we got
you.
to catch up.
It has. I mean, it has been years. So,
Hmm.
but I love it. I love this. I love this opportunity. I hate that it's taken so long to get to do it because of school for both of us, but
Oh, I know. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna say my brain is still like half mush from finals. So,
I never have one. So,
well, maybe I'm like a couple points ahead of you, but I feel like I'm not too far ahead. So, let's go back to your persona. So, whenever you are kind of in the moment doing your Humble Bee performance, how is that different than like a 9 to 5 job? Like mentally, physically, how's it different?
um, well, one, it pays better. No, I mean, one, you just don't feel like yourself. Like when I'm in this, I feel like a superhero. I can
Yeah.
do anything. I can walk up to anyone who would normally intimidate me, and I can be funny. I can grind on them. I can do something, like I can
Right.
entertain anybody. It's my room.
Yes.
Whenever I don't know, but like opposed to going to work, I'm afraid to ask for that promotion. I'm afraid to feel vulnerable. I'm afraid for people to see me or to
Yeah.
hear me or judge my ideas. And then when you're in drag, it's just you get to put it all out there. You get to
Hmm.
just completely express yourself, and it's so freeing and liberating.
Yes. Oh, I love it. I love it. And that's what I found in most people that work in some form of the adult industry. They literally feel like it's liberating. It's like a breath of fresh air. It's parts of you that you get to express that you wouldn't have otherwise. It's empowering on so many levels. And I'm super glad that you kind of found that too, because I feel like everyone kind of deserves that space, you know?
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, I think that everyone should dip their toes into something. I mean,
Hmm.
life is so boring if you just don't find something you enjoy, and I just cannot. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I don't know what I did before 2018 till now because drag has become such a huge part of my life. I literally don't remember. I suppressed it.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. There's nothing wrong with holding on to all of that positivity because most people don't understand that you can take all of those negatives that you experience and turn them into something so positive and so amazing that none of the other stuff matters. It's like you literally built yourself up so much that all of the stuff that happened previously, it was just stones, to build yourself. And that it doesn't
Absolutely,
really matter.
absolutely.
So, with talking about the kind of evolution of Humble, did they support you as you were evolving into Humble? Do they support you now? Do you have like friends outside of the community?
Um. Okay. So when I first came, well, okay, when I first wanted to do drag,
Hmm.
I think that telling my mom almost felt like coming out again because it's one thing to be
Yeah.
like, I'm gay, but it's another one to be like, I want to wear dresses and get in front of people and take their money. So I was so scared, but honestly, my mom was just like, okay. Like at this point, she was just like, you've already ripped that bandage once. I don't, I don't expect anything out of you. Like whatever you're gonna do, you're gonna do. And
Right.
then, um, I guess over time, not only her, but my stepdad have actually, my stepdad's a redneck, okay?
Yeah.
The reddest of necks. And actually, if you go onto my TikTok, there's an old video of me not looking this pretty on a lawnmower,
Lawnmower. Oh, I seen it.
and
I
there's an
seen
old man behind me.
yeah.
Sorry, Daryl, but there's an old man behind me. That's my stepdad. He wanted to be a part of that. And like I'm just like, okay. And he's come to one of my drag shows. He was at my wedding. They've grown to love me as a person so much
Yes.
that they just let go of all of the bigotry. They just let it all go. They love me as I am. And I think that I've built such a foundation, not only as my persona, but as me personally,
Right.
that people come to respect me as a person and then grow to love what I do.
Yes. And that's
So,
such an amazing experience. Like to have the support and encouragement. Like, don't get me wrong, the people out there that don't have it, they can still thrive. But there's a comfort knowing that your parents, your mom and your stepdad want to support you. They want to let you know, hey, we love you no matter what. And we're going to be there for you no matter what. So even them showing up to your shows, like that's super fucking amazing.
it is. I mean, and it wasn't always that way. So to me, what's more amazing than them actually doing it was to see them struggle
Yeah.
and and actually like build character development. They did
Hmm.
that on their own. I couldn't force them.
Right.
As we both know, you can't force someone to do something they don't want to do. They
Yes.
wanted to do that for me, and I think that that is a beautiful thing.
Yes, because that shows more than anything they want to grow. And somebody that wants to grow as a person, they're like, okay, maybe I don't agree with something, but that doesn't mean that I can't love and support this person that wants to do whatever they want to do. And that's a beautiful thing. That's a powerful thing. So props to them for the growth.
Thank you,
Yes.
Mama B.
100%. I love it. So let's talk about kind of your aspirations as a child. Whenever you were younger, kind of what did you want to do? What did you want to be?
I just knew I wanted to be a drag queen. No,
Okay. All right.
no, no, I'm just kidding. What's weird is I always wanted to be an actor.
Mm.
I wanted to
I
just
remember you telling
grab the
me that.
stage. Yeah, I always wanted to be an actor. I loved Broadway. I remember when I was a junior in high school, you go to like see colleges to see which one you want to go to, and I really wanted to go to like schools in New York, like things that
Mm-hmm.
it was not plausible. But and I mean, in a way, I'm living my dream. This, like, I
Yes.
think that dreams are just like ideas, and then they shift into a reality somehow. And I think that's
Yeah.
kind of what this has done. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
saying that I'm not living my dream. I love this.
Right.
This is an amazing thing, and I get so many great opportunities. I've met so many great people,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm very grateful. So,
Yes, I found that too. The networking is a beautiful thing. Like you get to meet so many beautiful people within the community, and those are bonds that you can form friendships with. And that's a beautiful thing because then you have support outside of and inside of the network. So I found that to be really awesome.
um, I mean, yeah, I've made a lot of great friendships. Um, I think the biggest problem with me is where I'm so distant because I still live in like a small area. I
Mm-hmm.
don't get to like engage so much out of drag with everybody,
Right.
but I would love to because they are wonderful people. Like they're just such wonderful, welcoming people that I
Mm-hmm.
know that if I actually lived like in one of these cities, that they'd be my best friends. I mean,
Yes.
you have Uma Jules, you have um, Rayana Dawn, you have, I mean, my mother, Natalia Jolie, STD, which I mean, the name is it's contagious. It'll grow on you. And then, but there's just so many of them that you love, and um, they're just such beautiful people, and they all have their own stories and their own backgrounds, and it's just so fascinating to get to
Right.
know everybody and just to hear their struggles. Kristen Mingle, that's another one. I love her so much. But I don't know, amazing people. They all are, and they're so welcoming, and they help build you up. And if
Mm-hmm.
you're not sure about something, they'll help you, and it's like a real sisterhood. It really is.
Right. And that's beautiful itself to feel like you can lean on those people, especially being new, being a baby. That's important to have, support of the people around you. So with, of course, the in-person community, do you have some kind of like online community where you keep up with people and you can chat with them and kind of just go over like new makeup or new skits that you want to do or anything like that?
Hmm. I I wouldn't say that they really go over all that. I think that it maybe like if I was like in a cast or something, because
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of bars that have like a cast, like they're
Mm-hmm.
casted there and
Right.
they'll perform every weekend. Maybe they have like a group chat or something. But for me, just someone who travels in and out and gets a gig here and there, I don't think that I'm really in the planning type deal. But yes,
Right.
I definitely have plenty of people on social media that I can message like this and they'll help me out. They've taught me a lot about wigs. They've taught me a lot
Mm-hmm.
about like clothes and
Yeah.
shoes and all this stuff. And there's lots of groups like that you can get on, like on Facebook or something, and
Mm-hmm.
they have tons of
Awesome.
like, yeah.
Yeah, that was my point.
They have,
Like,
yeah, they
to
have, yeah.
have like a space that people can go to, because like we were talking about, not everybody has access to the in-person kind of situation. So if you want to explore that side of you, then try to go online and try to kind of find out if it's for you if you don't have something local going on. So I'm going to say you can almost find anything online.
I would
Like,
say that if you're wanting to like try out makeup or that's something new
mhm,
to you, YouTube's the biggest thing. I mean, not to be that
yes.
guy, but I mean, it really is. YouTube really is. It's everything's on YouTube right now.
Oh, yes,
Like, and
100%.
you can try different like styles and everything like that, and everyone's
Mhm.
doing everything. It really, and then you'll what the biggest like piece of advice I have is to take what they're doing and then realize that their face is not your canvas. So you got to tweak it to enjoy it. Because if you try to do exactly what
Yeah,
someone else is doing, it's not going to look the same. It's not the same
right,
canvas.
right.
So you gotta
Beautiful
make it your own
advice.
because it's your own base. Yeah.
Yes. Also, I seen a lot of makeup tutorials and stuff on TikTok. So that's another platform that I've seen a lot of makeup stuff on. And I actually started following a couple people on TikTok. But regardless, if you want help with makeup, there's a lot of resources out there. And I even seen a bunch of resources where people teach you how to put on wigs, because I'm gonna tell you, that is not an easy thing.
It is not. And if I was not rushing to do this, I would have put this one on correctly. That's why I keep having it. It's not on right. But like, there's new easier ways. I just haven't been up there to get them. Like, there's these elastic bands now that you put
Hmm.
around your head, and you can like take the hooks in the wig, and you can
Hmm.
just slip it under there, and it like seals it to your head, and you don't even have to like tape your head anymore. But the way I
Yeah.
still do it, because I haven't got that yet, is you take like a bald cap or a wig
Hmm.
cap and you put it on, cover all your hair, then you gotta take duct tape and you gotta go around.
Hmm.
And then in the synthetic wig, there's hooks and you shove it in the duct tape, but it hurts.
Yeah.
Drag hurts. And whoever tells people that drag is easy, no.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Like, it's a lot of work. Like, your prep just for today, how long did it take you? I know you were rushing, but how long did it take you? And this is you done up like quick, not like,
this is this was an hour.
yeah. And that's
This
you
was an
trying to
hour.
hurry,
This
right?
was me being like, I actually like got on your podcast like page on YouTube,
Hmm.
and I noticed that who you talked to like 6 days ago had a
Hmm.
video, and I was like, I was like, are we doing a video? And you were just like, it's up to you. And I said, well, if I'm gonna, show off my drag, I might as well show it off. So
Right, right.
I was like, okay, well, I'll be there in an hour. It was nuts. I was freaking out. I was like, I don't know if I can do
Well, you did amazing. You did amazing.
it. A lot of
Love
steps, but when you learn your face, you can do it quicker. So I used to
Yes.
take like 4 hours to do makeup, and it didn't look half as good.
Hmm.
So
And that all goes back to you have to become familiar with your own body and learn, essentially how to work with yourself. You can't, like you were talking about, go on and see these other people doing all these like extravagant makeup designs and then wonder why yours doesn't look the same. Maybe this person has, lines going all the way back to their scalp, and you're like, well, mine doesn't look the same when it touches my hairline. Like, there's a difference with your body. So that goes back to comparing yourself. Don't compare yourself.
I learned that. I learned that the hard way, and I hope everyone that gets to watch this knows that body positivity is the biggest thing. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm a bigger queen. I'm almost 300 pounds. You wouldn't guess it, but I am almost 300 pounds. And I think it's all about proportions and how
Hmm.
you deal with those. Some of the most beautiful drag queens are like 300 plus in weight, and they are
Yes.
still petite little bitches. They know how to work a stage. They know how to kick, drop,
Hmm.
flip, twirl, and they show these little skinny bitches up. Not saying that there's anything wrong with being
Right.
skinny because they are also amazing. And honestly, some of the most amazing queens I've ever met are the skinniest little things. uh, it's just such a spectrum. I just love all body
Yes.
types. I think they're all so gorgeous. And in drag specifically, because that's what I'm here to talk about, if you don't like your body specifically, there are ways to tweak it to your liking, but you still
Yeah.
have to have a sense of love for your actual body as well. So, because
Yes.
you're not going to be able to completely transform it, you're just going to be able to shape it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And whenever it comes to shaping, or if there's things that you want to add, like if you're not sure, there's places where you can buy stuff to kind of help you. Like the what are the fake breastplates? What are those called?
Breastplates.
Okay. I didn't know if there was some kind of drag name for them.
Those are called breastplates. The first one I ever bought, I got on eBay. And let
Mhm.
me tell you right now, eBay has some of the cheapest ones.
Mhm.
We like to save money.
Right.
They have some of the cheapest ones, and yeah, it's like $90, but normally they're like 400. So,
Oh yeah. I've seen them on
yeah,
Amazon. They were
they're wild.
they get expensive. They get really
But
expensive.
my first one was like $90, and it was huge. It was big old tatas, and that was back when I used to wear like big old breasts. I stopped doing that because I didn't like. I have broad shoulders, and
Mhm.
that's something I've grown to be okay with. But
Right.
because of my broad shoulders, I really focus more on like padding my hips to give me an hourglass.
Mhm.
So I don't really do anything with my top at all because it's already kind of big.
Mhm.
So I don't really mess with like breastplates anymore, which is fine because I won't have to
Right.
buy them.
Right.
But yeah, like there's breastplates, there's hip pads, there's so many places you can get those. Um, and I mean, she gave me my information. If you ever want to message me, I can tell anyone about like little places to get things or where I've went. I don't care to share that information. But yeah, I mean, it's all about just shaping yourself and proportionizing.
Mhm.
Here we
And
go,
you can be
Hera.
whoever the fuck you want. If you want that
Mm.
hourglass figure, take it, own it. Like you can literally be that person. It's one of those things whenever you are creating your persona, you can be whoever you want to be.
Drag has evolved almost from women impersonation into just art monsters,
Yeah.
honestly, because
Yeah.
it's not just about like putting on a wig. There's a drag queen in Louisville, and her name is Vivica Darko. I don't know if you've ever heard of her,
No, I've
but
never heard of it.
she does horror, and
Ooh.
so it's like white, and she has almost like mine, but way bigger. Like the
Hmm.
eyeliner goes up. One eye is always white, and the other one's always red. And then she puts on like silicone like on her cheeks to make her cheekbones huge. She
Hmm.
literally morphs her whole face into this evil looking creature. She blacks out her teeth to make them look sharp. And she'll go out there looking like that. She'll put like a bald cap on with like stranded hairs,
Hmm.
and then she'll wear the prettiest dress you've ever seen.
Yeah. I
And
love it.
I'm like, I love that so much. There's
Like
something about it.
there is that is crazy. What is so crazy is it's literally become an art form. Like the amount of time you put in it, it's so consuming that it's literally an art form. It's not just like theater, it's an art all to itself.
It
That's what I've
really is.
noticed
And
over the years.
oh, it really is. And it becomes a part of you. I mean,
Mhm.
I, my husband and I talk about Humble like she's the third in the
Mhm.
relationship. Like we're a threesome. Like, oh, well, what does Humble want for Christmas?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm just like, I don't know. Go ask her when she comes around. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, they become a human being. Like they're once
Mhm.
they're fully conceptualized, they develop a life all their own. I mean, it's really amazing how much your drag can grow. So
Hmm. And for you to be able to embrace and just free that part of you, it becomes liberating in all parts of your life, right? So whenever you accepted Humble, how did it help you in your other aspects of life?
you learn lessons, I guess. I
Mhm.
mean, I learn what I'm worth almost
Mhm.
because I see it, like I
Right.
get to see how excited people are just to meet me and see me. And then I go and wipe this off. And it's like, I'm still going to take that confidence and I'm still going to take that validation and I'm going to go to work and I'm going to flip off my boss.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm going to flip off my boss. No, I really though, you really take a lot of that with you and you realize your self-worth. And I think
Yeah.
that that's just awesome.
Yes, it's not only beautiful, but it's very powerful. That's what we were kind of talking about earlier. It's just extremely empowering. It's like this persona has helped you develop as a person, helped you love and accept yourself and realize, hey, I am fucking worth it. It doesn't matter what these other people think, I am worth it.
And not just myself, but like it also creates such a community. I
Mhm,
mean, uh, one of the queens that got me like a really big start, her name was Benita Bloom, and
mhm,
she's amazing. If you've never get to watch her, she's a bearded queen. She's so beautiful, so sweet, so kind. And she holds a show at Crossings in Lexington called Benita's Blessings. She does it once a month. They hold these shows, and all these queens participate on their own volunteer time
mhm.
to donate to charities, local charities,
Aw,
every single month. And like Black Pride and all these different types of prides. There was one that they did for the women's rights movement whenever all that was going down with the abortion
mhm.
stuff. So I mean, they really like to not only include gay people, but they want to show that there's a community in all of us, Black trans people, um, women,
Yeah,
any minority who's really been through something. They want to show you that. Well, if you feel alone, guess what? You're not. You have
right.
us. We may not be
Yes.
the pick of the litter, but you got us.
I love it. I love it so
so,
much.
so
So,
Jack is very political.
yeah, I've seen them be very supportive, just like you were talking with so many different communities. And that being like Queens online or Queens in person, it's just the aura that the community gives off as a whole. It's just like, we're here to support you. And we hope that you know that. We hope that you're not alone. It's one of those things where they want to promote positivity. It doesn't matter whether you're part of the community or you're looking at the community just trying to be a supporter. They want to support you because they're like, we know what it's like, you know?
We do. Yeah. I mean, even right now, like right now at this moment, we are on a list from the Department of Homeland Security for like the LGBTQ community for high risk of violent acts because of everyone who just doesn't understand us. They think that we're trying to seduce children. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't know about you, but 9 out of 10 drag queens
Yeah.
I know want to be the furthest thing away from your kid in the world because they hate kids.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just don't get that. But like,
And even
it,
if they are, it's one of those things where they're the nurturing, good kind, not like the kind to manipulate.
you're telling me that you're mad because a man in a dress walked up to didn't walk up to your kid. You brought your kid to the library, actually. They didn't come to your house.
Yeah.
You brought your kid to the library during drag storybook time, and you're mad because they read The Little Engine That Could. That's what
Yeah.
you're mad about.
Yeah.
There's so many things to be mad about, but you're mad at that one. I don't know. It's just like that's the thing. Like a lot of times people are super respectful. I don't know how many times I go to a drag show and even if it's like a brunch and we know that there's gonna be a kid there, they'll walk up to the parents and be like, "Hey, normally perform in front of adults. So if a cuss word slips, like, is,
Right.
because I mean, I just don't want to offend any. Like, they do
Right.
that. Like, that
Yeah.
conversation's had before the microphone reaches the lip.
Yeah.
Drag queens are super respectful,
Right.
and so I've never understood like everything that's going on. I'm just like, you know what it is? It's bigotry. It's just anger, and
Yeah.
it's something to distract us from something else. That's really all
Yes, 100%. Like, I don't know why more people do not understand this.
it is. It's
100%.
just it's just trendy right now for conservatives. That's all it
Yeah.
is.
I feel like more or less they're trying to buy votes and band together. Like, that's literally what it is.
I mean, pretty much.
And it
I
has nothing to do with like growth of individuals or finding love for yourself or for your neighbor or for your friend. It's literally, let me go ahead and see what I can do to try to turn these set of people against this set of people. Because I mean, if you're always fighting each other, then you're not really seeing the bigger picture about what's going on. And that's all it is.
exactly.
So looking back at, we talked about previously when it come to kind of the person that you get to be whenever you're doing drag and the person that you get to be when you're at work. How do you have that balance in life? Like, what steps do you take for yourself to keep a good balance between Humblebee and your regular life?
Well, during the school year, it's really hard to find that.
Mm,
So for me, it was taking time off.
okay.
I mean, my personal life, my personal identity is just as important as Humble, and sometimes I forget to take care of him.
Yeah.
And so, like the whole month of November, I didn't do drag at all. I focused on school. I finished
Mhm.
my semester. I did whatever I needed to do if I had to go to work. But then I came home and I focused on my mental health. And I think
Yeah.
that's okay. I think
Yeah.
it's important to know that it's okay to take breaks and it's okay to focus on your mental health because you come
Yes.
first before your work.
Yes. 100%. Like, I feel like that should be one of the first tips that we give anyone that gets started in any industry, not just like, the sex education or sex industry or, just the any industry as a whole. Your mental health is huge. Like, you and I both have worked for companies that have been like, oh, you're going to work for me until you don't have any kind of anything left. I want all of your energy. I want all of your time. I want you to work overtime. I want you just to like bleed for the company, but they don't ever check on you. Like, your mental health just doesn't kind of exist in that atmosphere. It's like they don't look at you as a person, they look at you as a number, you know?
I was literally going to say the exact same verbiage. My stepdad worked for a company for 32 years and then he gets hurt and they want nothing to do with him.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things. It's like, how are you going to devote so much of your life and energy towards something for it to just bite you in the ass? And I'm just like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to come first,
Hmm.
no matter what.
Yes.
Then I will focus on my work.
Right.
But I will come first because at the end of the day, that's all you got.
Hmm. Like, you can get another job, you can't get another self. Like, you can't
It's not
replace your
it's not
brain.
Yojo. It's not
Yeah,
Yojo.
you
You only
don't get
job
another
once?
body.
No. You only job once? I don't think so. Unfortunately not. I've had three this year. No, I'm just kidding. I've been doing pretty good about that. But no, yeah.
Well,
Uh,
but in all reality, like, your mental health and your physical health are extremely important to your survival. Like, take care of that. Doesn't matter
Absolutely.
where you are in life. It doesn't matter what you do in life. Take care of that first, because if you don't, then there's nothing left of you. I know
Absolutely.
there have been companies that I have worked for where I've literally went into work sick because I didn't have sick time, because they were like, oh, well, if you don't show up, well, then you're fired. And I got tired of working for those people that are just so selfish. Big corporate companies, they just don't care about you. So why keep feeding into those?
I guess for me, it was like I hated that. I should be able
Mhm.
to take care of myself, but not only that, you have that's disrespect towards me as a person. Like if I need,
Mm. Yeah.
if I'm sick, that's
Yes.
disrespect towards your company and your customers. Because I'm coming in, I'm getting them sick too.
Yes. I've been
You are
preaching this for a long
disrespecting
time.
you are disrespecting the people that bring you your money, not just
Yep.
you pay. And no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I work in
100%.
pharmacy and absolutely not. Too many children, too many people that do
Mhm.
not need the extra health problems with immuno compromised diseases and everything. Absolutely not.
Yes, I completely agree. And I wish that people were seen as people and not numbers. Because ultimately, if they did that, it would make not only the environment better, but make the employees feel valued. You wouldn't have as much turnover, you know?
Absolutely. I have left several jobs in my day where I only left because I felt like a number. I
Mhm.
felt completely unvalued. Yeah.
So, the really great thing about kind of finding humble and moving into that transformation was you don't have to worry about all that craziness that happened in the past, all of the desensitized bullshit and all of the moving away from you as a person and being seen as a number. Now you get to be seen, you get to be valued, you get to take that time for yourself to be like, I'm going to embrace this part of myself and I'm going to flourish.
Exactly. I mean, I don't have to worry about if someone values me because I value myself.
Yes.
And I I just wake up with a smile every time I
Mhm.
get to just be humble for the day. It's an amazing feeling, and I don't have to put the money on my taxes.
Yeah.
And
That's a
that's
joke, guys.
wonderful.
That's a joke, guys.
Yeah, that's a joke. That's a joke. I
If
also
any,
agree.
yeah,
I
if
also
any of
agree.
the
If the IRS is watching, get a hobby.
So let's go ahead and move to, since we're talking about the IRS, let's move to regrets. Do you have any regrets so far?
No, I mean, regret was something that I thought that I would have, but honestly, every mistake I've ever made
Mhm.
has got me where I am. Every misstep was a lesson learned. I never
Mhm.
repeat the same problem twice. I
Right,
mean, because I actually take notes. So,
right.
um, I would say never regret anything. Just actually learn from your mistakes because
Yes.
you're here on life to make mistakes. No one's born perfect.
Yes.
But as we mentioned earlier, like with my parents, they work toward bettering themselves. We should do that on a constant.
Yes, I completely agree because the evolution in the growth of you being an individual is an amazing thing. You being meek and saying, "Hey, maybe I didn't have all the information available to me in the first place." So, take that information in, grow from it, and be a better you.
Exactly. Don't ever use an excuse of I didn't know because someone's going to educate you
Mhm.
and then say thank you and apply it.
Yes. Yes,
Absolutely.
100%. So, I have one question left for you today. Can you tell me what the day-to-day responsibilities look like for humble? So on a regular day where you just get to be humble, what does that look like for you?
It looks like a bunch of sweaty, shady bitches in the back of a dressing room complaining about how they'd rather be anywhere than where they are, but loving every moment that they're in that dressing room.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Being humble is very liberating. It's very exciting. But without humble, I wouldn't have all these amazing people in my life and all of these amazing opportunities to make people smile and to talk to little kids at Pride who just tell me that they're just so happy that they see someone that represents how they feel up on a stage, and
Yeah.
it just it's liberating, it's validating, and it's very humbling.
Mm. Is that how you came up with your name?
No, what do you mean?
Tell me where your name came from. Tell me where your name came from.
I've been humbled a lot in my life. Yeah, whether it comes to my weight, my teeth, like all my insecurities, I've been humbled. So that's kind of where it came from. That, and I mean, it sticks with the name. I love bees. I'm really big on like save the bees and
Mhm.
all that. So Bumblebee, Humble Bee.
Okay.
And then I found out that my name is actually also a brand of whiskey, and that made me sad.
I seen that. I seen
I,
that.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. If y'all want to do, if Humblebee Kentucky Bourbon Whiskey wants to do a
Mhm.
collab with me, hit me up. I've got the name, but besides that, I had no idea.
Now you can kind of be like, this is my essence, drink me up.
I know. I'm gonna go. This is the face you get when you see Humble. Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna ask you, did it taste good when you tried it?
I still haven't.
Oh, okay. Well, you're gonna have to
I
let me
still
know.
haven't. I'm definitely it's on my bucket list. I just haven't been to an alcohol store. I don't drink too often, so
Yeah.
I think the most I drink is when I'm at a gig and they give me free tickets.
Yeah.
So I don't drink too often, actually. I don't know. I thrive on sobriety.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
So
It's the best way to be. Stay hydrated
drink
and
your
stay safe.
water.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and let you go so you can get on with your night. But thank you so much for being so amazing for the podcast tonight.
Oh, thank you, and I really appreciate you having me. And I would love to come back anytime you've had me.
Awesome. You guys remember you can find Humble on TikTok and on Instagram. Again, I'll leave it in the bio for you so you have access to it for later. And if you have any questions for Humble, she's more than willing to answer them. She already mentioned so. So
Message me anytime.
We'll see you on the next podcast of Forbidden Depths. Thanks again for coming to support the channel.
Stay humble.
Hey, it's Queen Frostbitten again, your host. I just want to remind you that you can follow us on YouTube at Forbidden Depths. That's FORBIDDENDEPTHS. Or over on Twitter at the number 4 BIDDENDPODCAST. Remember to always stay educated, consensual, and safe. We'll see you on the next show.